Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today on the bench I have another railroad grade Hamilton. This time it's a Model 1 grade 992 from 1911. The dial has nice bold hour numerals and all minute markers are numbered, making this a Montgomery dial. The hands are painted black, which was likely an aftermarket modification. The dial has quite a few cracks. You can see some paint is missing in places, so I'm going to attempt to touch up the dial a little bit. Other than that, there's nothing majorly wrong with the dial. The balance wheel, on the other hand, did have some major problems. I spent the better part of 6 hours over a couple of days re-poising it back to its original timekeeping standard. Here's how it was running before re-poising it. The amplitude and rate difference between dial up and down were okay, but the watch was running fast overall. The big problem was the vertical positions, with a maximum rate difference of 134 seconds per day across the 5 positions. What made matters worse is these early models don't have mean time screws, which could be backed out to slow the balance wheel down. I'm very happy to say that I was able to get this back to its original standard, so it's keeping railroad time once again. With that out of the way, let's begin the service. Here's the movement, a beautifully decorated 992. I think that these are one of, if not the best looking railroad grade movements ever produced, with the only contender being the Waltham Model 1892s. In my opinion, it's a shame that movements like the 992B and the 950B have simple striped damascening instead of something more elaborate like this. These are 21 jewel movements, with cap jewels on both the pallet and escape wheel pivots. What those do is control the amount of end shake those pivots have while also reducing friction. I'll start by removing the dust ring. Now that the mainspring's been unwound, I'll remove the hands and dial. You can see the damage here at 52 and 7. I'll repaint the missing parts. I'll also attempt to repaint the sub-seconds dial, but it won't be easy as the surface is uneven and jagged. Here's the dial side. I really appreciate how clean and simple the Model 1's keyless works are. The dial washer is worn out, so I'll replace that. The hour wheel has a little burr on one of the teeth. It clearly doesn't affect anything, but I'll sand it down just in case. The intermediate wheel looks good. I'll remove the canon pinion now. It's still snug and looks fine. Here's how the clutch system works. When the time setting lever isn't engaged, the clutch spring keeps the sliding pinion against the winding pinion. When you engage the setting lever, it pushes the clutch lever down, which switches the sliding pinion to the intermediate wheels, allowing you to set the time. This was to prevent your watch chain from accidentally pulling the crown into the time setting position and changing the time. The setting lever is in good shape, as is the clutch lever spring and the clutch lever. The intermediate wheels look great. Now I'll flip over to the gear train. I'll remove the balance assembly first. The hairspring and pivots are in great condition. Now I'll remove the pallet fork. It's a little grimy, but otherwise looks fine. I'll remove the ratchet wheel now. It has a few little spots of corrosion, but still looks great. I'm going to check the crown wheel's end shake. It's somewhat worn, which is common on these. All I have to do is remove material from the underside of this, and it should be good after that. Much better now. The crown wheel looks good. I'll check the arbor hole now. That looks perfectly fine. I'll remove the bridges now and inspect the gears and jewels. The escape wheel has some discoloration, but it shouldn't affect the performance at all. All the other gears look great. Let's take a look at the clutch now. The sliding and winding pinion look good. Last but not least is the mainspring. The barrel, lid, and mainspring all look fine. And that's the watch fully disassembled. I'll be back once it's reassembled and ready to go. Here's the watch, serviced and running well. I noticed this jewel chaton is rotated 90 degrees. This is usually done when a replacement is a tiny bit too small. I also decided to use Epilom on the balance and escape wheel capstones, as well as the escape wheel and pallet stones. Epilom is a surface treatment that helps keep oil from spreading past where you put it. Normally it's not really worth using Epilom on pocket watches, as the case isn't dustproof, which means the service interval should be every 2 to 3 years if it's worn regularly. But this is a high-grade watch and it'll help keep it running longer. Here's the positional timekeeping, a huge improvement from what it was originally. Here's the dial. I'm not particularly happy with the sub-seconds indices, but it's the best that I could get them, and it's better than not having anything there at all. And here's the watch, cased up and completed. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.